Hi everyone, Matt back for Photo News and Reviews. First of all, thanks to Fujifilm Australia. They've been such great supporters. The XA1 has just been announced and I contacted them straight away and they sent it out to me. For people watching at home, it may seem a bit surprising, but getting access to gears can sometimes be really difficult. Some brands are reluctant to do it. Some are really open and progressive and open to social media and YouTube type reviews rather than traditional print stuff, and others really aren't. So thanks to Fuji, really appreciate it. That said, as always, I will be giving my 100% honest thoughts, and I'm going to be taking this guy over to Singapore for a trip. So when I introduced this one that had been announced, comparing it to the XM1, it seemed like there was absolutely no difference. Turns out it was actually an error on the Fuji website saying that they had the same specs. The XA1 doesn't have the fantastic X-Trans sensor that the XM and XE and all the other X's basically are using these days. It's got a standard sensor, but it is the same resolution. The only difference between it and the XM, other than the couple of $100 price difference, is the finish and the sensor that's in there. All the other specs are the same. Now, I wasn't able to actually get the XM. I was able to get the XE, which is a step up. Now, it is higher spec. It's got the viewfinder. It's got doesn't have the tilde swivel screen. It's better build. All of those things. It has quite different specs to the XA1, but now this is going to start to get a little bit complicated. The XE1 and the XM1 have exactly the same sensor in them. And the XA1, compared to the XM1, the only difference really is the sensor. So, to be able to do an image quality comparison, I can compare these two side by side, same lens, same settings, and we'll be able to say what's the difference in image quality between the XA and the XE, but also the XM, because the XM and the XE are actually the same sensor. There's a lot of X's there. This is a XXX rated show. I hope you caught all of that. So anyway, running through the specs on this guy again, just the basic ones. Does have pop-up flash, does have hot shoe, does have film emulation modes, all of that stuff. The body is plasticky, but I actually really like the finish on this guy. It's really, really lightweight. Looking at the actual specs, 16.3 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, not X-Trans. It's got the EXR processor version 2, startup time of half a second, shutter lag of 0.05 of a second, so almost nothing. It's got a tiltable 3-inch LCD with 920K resolution, built-in flash, as I said, ISO 200 to 6400, extendable up to 25,600. We'll be testing that. Full HD recording, set at 30 frames a second though. 49-point AF system. Turn my phone off, it's going crazy. It's got all the art field, it's got all of that stuff. Wireless image transfer, it's got the wireless built in there, which is really great. So many other ones still are coming and it's only an optional extra. And it comes in blue, black or red. And this one is shipping with the 16 to 50 variable aperture 3.5 to 5.6 stabilized lens. Now you'll probably be able to get it in kits without this as well, but this is the kit that I've been sent. So on paper looks good. Interesting that for only 200 bucks cheaper, the only big difference is the sensor compared to the XM1. The build is a little bit different as well though, a bit more plasticky. But it's certainly interesting to see mirrorless cameras that are offering potentially a great feature set coming down and down in price. This is now in the realm of just a high-end compact camera, but it gives you the interchangeable lens options in still a fairly small form factor. This guy without the lens on it is not much bigger than like a Canon G series, probably even a little bit less and probably a little bit lighter anyway. So I'm going to be taking both of these guys along with some other little surprises to Singapore next week and doing some full-on reviews on them. I'll have a full detailed review on this guy and an image quality showdown between these two to show the entry-level Fuji X range. I'm a big fan of the X range. I think the styling's great, but more importantly, they've got the image quality and the performance to back it up. From almost all of the ones I've tested, I really, really like them. The XE1, I really loved when I reviewed that one. So it'll be interesting to see how this little brother version stacks up. If you are in the X system, leave us your thoughts. Let us know what you've got, what you're shooting with, what lenses you're using. If mirrorless isn't for you just yet, also let us know why, what would it take to get you across. And I will see you soon from Singapore with some detailed reviews on these guys. Please do make sure you subscribe. This is the channel where I do all of my introductions, announcements, and reviews from the trade show floors. And over at Matt Granger is where I do more tips, tricks, and tutorials on shooting to get you out there and enjoying your photography. The motto is get your gear out, use it. Don't worry about that much about what it is. But this is for all of us gear hounds and gearheads who are self-confessed and wanting to keep up with the latest and greatest. So thanks again. I'll see you soon.